So, welcome back. In this video, I like to do this kind of basically a prediction of how the World Cup's going to go every time there's a World Cup. So, luckily, FIFA have produced a handy dandy predictor website that we can use. So, I'm going to be using that. And basically, I'm going to be going through my predictions of each of the groups, the knockouts, and then eventually seeing off who the winners will be. So, yeah, I mean, this is going to be a crazy World Cup. First time in the Middle East. First time it's in mid-season. Usually it's after the regular season's over and in the summer. But this one's just going to be crazy. I know it's going to be so many unpredictable things, but I'm going to try and predict to the best of my ability how I think it's going to end up going. So I like to think I'm pretty good at these things. Usually when the World Cup comes around, I have a pretty good prediction of who's going to win it. But let's see how my predictions fare and if it does happen or not. So I'll make a reaction video to this once the World Cup's over. But for now, let's see how I'm able to predict these games. So Group A, we have Qatar, Senegal, Ecuador, Netherlands. Pretty obvious, Netherlands number one. I would say Senegal, but it looks like Mane may not be going to the World Cup, so for that reason, I'm going to go with Ecuador. I think a lot of people are sleeping on Ecuador. I think they have great potential, a lot of young players in that team, a lot of them playing at Brighton in the Premier League. So I think Ecuador this time might just edge it out over Senegal, and the host nation, Qatar, I think will finish last. Group B, this one, with England, I mean, this one's a really tough group, I think, to predict. On paper, it looks easy, but I think it might cause England a bit more issues than we might expect. But I think England should top that group, so I'm going to go number one with them. Second, I think Wales. I think Gareth Bale and Wales, they always perform in tournaments in the recent history. So I think he'll want to go off on a high as well. So I think Gareth Bale and Wales will finish second, and I'll put United States in a run third and fourth. Group C, I mean, this one has one of the favorites, Argentina and Messi. Probably his last chance to win a World Cup. And currently they are the informed team going to the World Cup. They haven't lost in 35 matches, which is, I think right now it's an international record. Quite obviously they will finish first. Second and third, this one's going to be quite a challenging one because I want to say Mexico, but they haven't been that great either. And Poland, they don't typically do that great in tournaments either as well, but they have one of the best forwards in Lewandowski. But I think, the Mexican spirit, they always just make it to the round of 16 every single year and then get knocked out. So I think it's going to be the same thing for them. Second for Mexico, and then Poland and Saudi Arabia will finish third and fourth. Group D, I think even though it looks kind of like an easy group on paper, I think France should top that group. Although Denmark is, I think, in better form than them. But with Benzema and Mbappe, I think they'll be fine to at least outscore them on goal difference and finish top of the group. So France, Denmark, and I think Tunisia and then Australia fourth. And then Group E, I think Spain is the strongest in this group. They had a great Euros last year. They're also in a rebuilding phase just like Germany, who I'm going to put in second. But I think they're a much stronger team than people might give them credit for. But yeah, I think Spain and Germany should be standard in that group, and then I think I'll go Japan for third and Costa Rica fourth. Group F, having Morocco, Canada, Belgium, and Croatia. My country's in here. I think Croatia will top it because they just have a very solid core. Modric, Brozovic, Rakitic. I think Rakitic retired, but they have also Kovacic in there. I think that and the midfield's very, very stable. It's an older team, but I mean, based on the last World Cup, they're very consistent in tournaments that they perform in, and they always produce. And I think Belgium will finish second, not first. I just think Belgium is just kind of on their end of their tenure, and they kind of missed the opportunity to go and probably win a tournament recently, but they'll make it out. And I think Canada it might be too much for them in this first World Cup since 1986. So just out of pure patriotism, I'll put them in third over Morocco. But I really hope we can make it to the round of 16. But it's going to be super tough because considering we haven't played any really top European side in international football in recent years. So I just don't know. I can't base CONCACAF on how we're going to produce in the World Cup. So for that reason alone, I think even putting third is kind of generous for Canada, but we do have European-based players. So let's see how it goes. But fingers crossed we can make it in second. But I'm going to put Belgium and Croatia top. And then Group G, I think it's standard. Brazil is going to top that, one of the favorites going into this cup. Switzerland second because it's just Switzerland. They just always somehow manage to get through the groups in every single tournament that they're in. Somehow, and everyone, like, no one ever hypes about Switzerland, or like they don't have any crazy, world-class players or any standout names like that. But as a team, they're very cohesive and they just always seem to work it out in the tournaments and go through. And I think I'll put Cameroon third and Serbia fourth, even though they have Vlahovic. But I think African teams will do better this time. I'm hoping they will do better this time. My hope was with Senegal, but I mean, with the loss of money, I'm not sure if that's gonna happen or not. But yeah, I'll just put Cameroon third, Serbia fourth, and then the last group we have Korea, Ghana, Uruguay, Portugal. I think in terms of consistency and unity, and for that reason alone, I think Uruguay will top the group. They don't seem to have any major injuries. They have an older team. They have the Suarez's, the Cavani's. Godin is still playing as well in this team. So they have a very strong team, but I just think they have Fede Valverde, who's in top form for Madrid, and I think he's just one of the best players in the world right now. I think that just edges Portugal, even though Portugal they have a good side, but I mean, I don't know about Portugal this time around, even though it's also Ronaldo's probably his last chance to win a World Cup. I think Uruguay is much better than a lot of people think, and I think they will top the group this time around. And then I'll put Korea in third and Ghana in fourth. And so this leaves us to the round of 16. Round of 16, first game up, Netherlands-Wales. I think this is where Gareth Bale's going to have to exit, and Netherlands are going to go through. I think they just might have a little bit more quality than Wales. Second game, Argentina and Denmark. I think if Messi's going to win the World Cup, he's got to be beating teams like Denmark. And no offense to Denmark, they are a very good team, but I think Argentina is stronger than Denmark, so they're going to go through in that one. Spain, Belgium. I think Spain are just a bit more of a cohesive unit than Belgium at the moment. Belgium don't give me the hypes as they used to in the past. And I think they've kind of let themselves down in the last few tournaments by not finishing higher than what they should have with the quality that they have. But I just don't see their defense as strong as what it used to be, and I think Spain might just edge it over them. All Portuguese game with Brazil and Portugal. If this happens, man, I just think based on team chemistry wise, and the mood and the vibe and the form, I just think Brazil will just edge it and get through. And sadly, that will mean Ronaldo probably doesn't win a World Cup, so that's going to be the end for him. And then next game we have England, somehow managing always to get an easy draw in the next round. So yeah, they'll beat Ecuador. If they get Ecuador, they should beat them pretty convincingly, I think, with the quality that they have. But you never know with England. You just never know. France, Mexico. Yeah, it's pretty obvious France will go through. I don't think Mexico will have what it takes to overcome France. But yeah, I think that's just going to be the end for Mexico again in the round of 16, just like every of the last 7 World Cups going out in the round of 16 for them. So that's just sad for Mexico, but that's probably going to happen. France going to go through. Croatia, Germany. Germany have, like I said, some good young talents coming through. They have some experienced players. but I just feel the balance isn't there with their team right now. They're caught in a transition phase right now, and I think Croatia is a bit more stable. So for that sense, I think I'm going to put Croatia in to go through. And for the last round of 16 game, Uruguay, Switzerland, I think Uruguay will just edge that one as well. So there we go. So moving on to the quarterfinals. First game up, Netherlands, Argentina. Rematch of the that's the semifinals of 2014. If it happens again, like in 2014, I think Argentina will go through on penalties or not. Maybe penalties. I think Netherlands will push them far for sure. So I think they'll get through this one. Spain, Brazil. I think this is where Brazil will show that they are a stronger team and just have that final edge in quality over Spain. So I think Brazil, with the attacking, force they have in Rodrigo, Vini, and Martinelli, Gabriel Jesus, is just like they got the talent up front to kill the games off. So I think Brazil will go through. England, France, what should have been the final in Russia last time around, but England slipped up against Croatia. So this time I think actually France is not the same team as 4 years ago. I think they are a weaker team. No Pogba, no Kante. They got a lot of new, good young players, but I just don't think they don't have that experience yet, and they don't have the balance and the chemistry like 2018. So I think this is where France gets knocked out, and I think England goes through. And then the last quarterfinal game, Croatia and Uruguay. I think this is where history might repeat itself, and it will be Croatia. Croatia, England again in the semifinals, and I think they'll have a chance to make things right again. So I think Croatia will edge Uruguay, man. I think just about they might do it this time. So putting a lot of faith in Croatia to go far, but if the way the draw works out like this, why not? I think it's possible. So it could be, it will be a rematch of the last semi-final World Cup in the semi. So this leaves us with Argentina, Brazil, England, Croatia. First semi-finals, I think this is very likely to happen actually. Argentina and Brazil playing each other. So I think if this does happen, these two are both my favorites to win the World Cup. I think just for I want to say Messi for the whole Argentina narrative and everything. And I think that could be enough just to beat Brazil. Because originally I was saying Brazil, they are a much stronger team. And they might want payback for the 2021 Copa America where they lost in the finals to Maracanã. It's a tough one, but I think if Argentina is going to win this World Cup, it's got to be now. It's got to be now, man. And with the form that they're in, they should do it. They should do it. But it's Brazil and Argentina. It's super tough. I think this is the toughest one to predict, honestly. I really want to say Brazil because of the form that they are in. But I think this World Cup has to be the one. So I'm gonna edge it to Argentina. So Argentina will be the first finalist. And in the second game, I think England will get revenge for 2018. I think they'll make it to the finals somehow, if the luck's on their side. And they have a good side in terms of squad, players and depth. I think they do have a good side, even though a lot of their players are injured. A lot of good players are injured for them and are not on the plane to Qatar. But I think overall they are pretty strong. So they should make it. They should make it, man. And so this leaves us to the finals. And if it is England-Argentina, I do hope it's Argentina that wins it. So I mean, yeah, just to see Messi win a World Cup would be incredible. So yeah, I think it will be Argentina. So yeah, that would be my winner if the for the World Cup of 2022. So if this is how it plans out, um, it'll have to be Argentina. But I really think the favorites for this tournament going in is of course Argentina, but I think Brazil are favorites. Uh, Probably the bigger favorites, just because they have the most balanced squad, I think, on paper, and they haven't won a World Cup in since 2002. And I just think they really want to win this World Cup because they haven't in so long. So I just think Brazil have a lot going for them. That this could be their tournament. But if the draw works out the way it has in my prediction, then we could be seeing Argentina in the final. That's been my prediction. Hopefully, I mean, I would like to see Messi win it personally, but you never know. With this World Cup, I just think it's going to be a crazy one. I think it's going to be the most unpredictable one in recent memory, and let's just hope it's going to be a good tournament. And so there we go. Argentina champions of the world. Messi will have that gold medal around his neck. He'll have the World Cup to take home back to Rosario or Buenos Aires, wherever they're going to do the parade. And I think a lot of people will be happy if Argentina does win. I think a lot of people in the world want Messi to win it, just because it's his last opportunity, really. He said this will be his last World Cup, and there isn't going to be a better time to win a World Cup than right now. Seriously, the form that they're in, the players they have, the overall depth, the recent performances in the Copa America that won them the Copa America, they really have a balanced team to go on and really win the World Cup. So yeah, that's been my prediction. And yeah, I'll check back in a month's time and see whether my predictions have come as right as they have in this video. So hope you liked it. And yeah, I'll catch you in the next one. Peace.